Well, hello and welcome to another day on Cornwall Pocket Farm, where I try and figure out how to live more sustainably on 300 square meters in the city. Well, today I've got a bit of a thrift haul for you. I actually filmed this a few days ago, which is good because I've come down with a cold just in time for Christmas, so I feel pretty rough. But I just needed to do the intro for this video, so I thought I'd come on and just have a little chat with you. So please excuse me if I don't look my best. So this thrift haul is actually not just one thrift haul. It was sort of gathered over a couple of weeks, I think, yeah, 2 or 3 weeks, because it all started when I went to the recycle boutique. I did a video a little while ago about clearing out my closet and getting it sort of ready for my winter wardrobe that I'm going to make. Just getting rid of things that weren't earning their coat hanger. So what I did was I took all those clothes along to the recycle boutique, our local recycle boutique, and a couple of them actually went to the charity shop as well. So I took them along there and dropped them off. And of course, while I was there, needed to have a little bit of a browse just to see what was there. So I had a little look around and I found a really nice little tartan jacket, which I very briefly shared with you at the end of that video. Of course, what also happens then is that they sell your garments and then they have sort of cash there that you can go and pick up. Well, it's sort of rude, I think, to actually take the cash away. So again, I had a little look around to see if there was anything that I wanted while I was there. And of course there was. I got a jacket and a coat and also a kilt. So the next thing was that, of course, it is now coming up to Christmas. And in our household, we have a slightly different way of doing Christmas now, because of course it's really sort of against our principles now to get sucked into that sort of commercialism of Christmas and buying and buying and buying all these gifts that potentially the people you're giving them to don't even want. So the way we run it now is we actually go to charity shops and we buy little things that are fun or we think the person might enjoy, or just daft things really, or anything that looks interesting. And then the main gift there is essentially your donation to charity. Then on Christmas Day, we obviously wrap all the presents up. Oh, that's my husband just making lunch. You can probably hear a bit of noise in the background. So then what happens is we wrap all those little presents up, and yes, he's a very loud cook. Yes, okay. Has he finished? No. I'll just work through the noise. Hopefully with this microphone on it's not too bad. But anyway, so then what we do on Christmas Day is we wrap up those gifts and we give them to the different people that we're giving to. Now, the rules are, if you open the gift and you don't want it, you have a bit of a giggle, thank the person, and then you put it into a pile. And we build a pile of the things we don't want. After we've opened all the presents, then essentially that pile is a free-for-all for anybody else who wants to take something off that pile. So that's great. So you might have bought something for the other person that you really liked and they didn't want it, and then you get it in the end anyway, which is great. And then, of course, anything that's left over that nobody wants, you take back to the charity shop, and of course then they get a donation that then they can sell again. So that way, everybody wins. We all get fun things to open, we get some little things that we like, we've donated to charity, and there's nothing lost. The other thing that we do is we wrap up those gifts in fabric scraps. I have a whole bunch of fabric scraps in here, and we just wrap them up in fabric scraps with string, and then that string gets reused in the garden, and the fabric scraps go back into the bin behind me. That way there is no waste. We all have a jolly Christmas. It's lots of fun. There's lots of surprises and everybody wins. So as part of that, long story short, as part of my looking for Christmas presents for my family, I was in charity shops, and I also had a couple of dances to go to, some Christmas do's. So I was on the lookout for some sort of sparkly dresses to wear to those events. And I found a couple of really nice dresses. Anyway, enough chatting. Let's get on with the thrift haul, and I'll show you the items that I got. There's about at least 6 inches on
on the bottom of this dress, which is way too long. So I'm going to have to take it up. But it's actually, I think, a very nice fit. It's a size 6, this. So the woman who originally had this would have been a size 6, but very tall. So I'm going to have to trim it off. And I'm planning to actually take it up to sort of ankle length, sort of like that length, to make it a bit more sort of useful for dancing, and then I can wear it to more sort of events, because here it's very much like a full length ball gown, whereas what I actually want is more of a cocktail length dress. So this one I actually got in the charity shop for $30. I was really pleased that I don't know if you can see the beading that's on the top. It's really rather glorious. It's on the back as well. I don't know if you can see that, but really rather lovely. The other thing that I'm thinking of altering is, given that I need to take a chunk off the bottom anyway because it's just way too long, I think I would prefer this just with some little flutter sleeves. I mean, I really like the sort of the neat top, and I like the way it's sort of enclosed at the top, and certainly for dancing it's great with sort of lots of movement in the arms. But I think I might take some of this chiffon and just, if I can, I don't know if I can show you. Can I show you? I'm just thinking that what might be nice would be just to sort of create some little sort of flutter sleeves on the end. So I'm not quite sure if I'll be able to manage that, but that would be my ideal. But we are going out dancing tomorrow evening. So what I really want to do is just get this to the right length, because at the moment it's not wearable for me, because I literally, like, I don't have any shoes that would be high enough to get this off the floor, and I wouldn't be able to dance in those anyway. So I really need to take off about 20 centimeters off the bottom, and then after that, later on, I think I might try and figure out how to put some flutter sleeves on. But for now, I think it's going to do the job very well, and I do really like it. So I was so pleased with this find, really, really happy. It's a nice fit because it flares here. I don't know if you can see, it fits at my top where I'm quite sort of small. And then when it comes down to my larger lower part, it's on the bias, so it will accommodate my flare. And then it, of course, with the skirt being wider, sort of covers up that part on me. So I'm very, very pleased. I think it's the perfect dancing dress. This dress, as you can see, is entirely on the other end of the spectrum. This is a size 16 dress, but I really like the neckline and the way the sleeves are working. And I've looked at the construction, and it's literally like the lace is on the top in a separate seam, and then there's a lining underneath that. So I literally just need to go down and take a good chunk out of the sides. There's plenty of room in the rear end. I can even take some out of there. But what I'm going to do is flare it to the hem, because the hem has got like a sort of scalloped edge all the way around the edge, which I don't really want to mess with. The lace is beautiful. It's very difficult in this light. I might move you just to see if you can get a bit more light on this. So I'm hoping that you can see the sort of the detail of the lace there, because it is rather beautiful. And I looked online on this dress, and this dress retails in Australia for about 800 Australian dollars. And I found this on the $11 rack. $11 for an $800 dress. Yes, it's too big, but I'm a seamstress, so I can take this in. It's just running up and down the side seams. There's plenty of room. I don't know if you can see under the sleeve. So even if I take a good chunk in under both sleeves, it's still going to have plenty of movement. The other thing is, can you see the split at the back? Hopefully you can. There is a split at the back, but it's not very high. So if I just did a sort of a lunge, a tango type of thing, it might well split a little bit at the back. So I think I could make it quite a bit higher without it being a problem. And I love the neckline and the way the sleeves hang out. It's probably supposed to be a really sort of fitted sleeve like that or something. But on me, it gives a wide neckline, which I like, and then sort of slightly cap sleeves. Now this works really well for me because it widens my top half, of course, so that when we get to my hips, there's sort of balance going on. So I like the sleeves like this, and I'm just going to call it a design feature. It's, yeah, I think it fits quite nicely at the neck. A quality lace fabric in stores around here, this is probably going to be $50, $60, possibly even $70 a meter for this type of lace. And I got the entire dress made up and at least a couple of meters of lace, I would say, in this dress, and the lining fabric and the zip for $11. I'm really, really thrilled with it, and I feel great in it. Well, I will do when it's taken in, I will feel great in it. It's got a real vintage vibe, which I really like. Again, with this neckline and the sleeves, I think it's got that vintage vibe. And when I sort of define the waist and bring it in a little bit more, I think it's very Elise. So very pleased with this. And of course, you will have seen that both of them are in this gorgeous sort of blue colour, which is really a colour that I like and I think that suits me. So this is the first jacket. I'm really pleased with it. It's actually a vintage label. It feels like it's just long enough to be quite flattering. If it's sort of too long, my legs look too short. If it's too high, it's not right, but it's sort of not, it's not cutting off. I think maybe because it has the curve as well. It's really smart. It's got a nice shape from the back. And yeah, very pleased with that. I love the colour, and the colour goes with my hair. I like it with the collar popped as well. Feel really sharp. So really, really pleased with this. From memory, this was actually the most expensive of my purchases. I think I paid about $65 for this jacket, but I'm really, really pleased with it. I'll just show you the label. Of course, it's nicely lined. It's 80% wool, 20% polyester, size 6. So very pleased with that. Oh, I should actually show you as well the skirt that I'm wearing. This was me made. So I essentially made this out of a whole bunch of different patterns and my block. So I took the shape of the pockets being sort of set out and having a scalloped look. I got that from one pattern, which was a vintage pattern. I took the shape of the skirt from my block. I don't know if you can see, it's got a sort of a pleat detail at the back, and I took this off another pattern that was in my stash. And then because I didn't have quite enough fabric, I made this detail up where basically I've got two pieces of waistband, and then I just sort of joined it with a little half moon shape to sort of make an Art Deco sort of look. It's in a really nice sort of stretch wool jersey. It's lovely and warm. I lined it as well, so it's got quite a pretty lining in there, so it's just sort of like a textured suit style lining. So very pleased with this skirt, and it's very comfortable to wear. And of course you remember this blouse is a me made. This is the Elizabeth shirt blouse from my summer capsule wardrobe. I'll put a link up to that here if you've not seen that before, that whole playlist of all of the makes that I made for my summer trip to Europe. But yeah, really pleased with that jacket. On to the next one. And this is just another look of the tartan jacket that I got, because it was at the end of that other video, and I don't know, as I gave it a proper sort of viewing. I sort of see this jacket as a little bit more of a trouser sort of jacket. But anyway, I'm not going to do all that masses of changing, so I'm just wearing it with the skirt that I had on already for the other jacket. So it's really nice. It's a little tartan jacket. So again, a nice wool jacket. It's got lots of little pockets. It's got a little pocket here as well. It's got when you pop the collar, it's got like a red flash on the collar, which is quite interesting, I think. Perhaps not the right red to go with this skirt, but it's still quite a nice look. So yeah, quite pleased with that. It's a little bit more boxy, but as I say, I think it would be better with trousers than say with this skirt. But it's got a really nice lining, and again, masses of pockets on the inside. Some really nice detail with sort of piping and lining, and yeah, really, really nice. And again with this one, it's got a nice label. This is actually Cartonniere. And I've looked on the internet, and I think this is an American label. And this one is more of a coat, really. Absolutely perfect for walking Maggie in the park. Plenty of room. I think I already have poo bags in my pockets. Maggie's looking at my coat going, oh, we're going for a walk. But really lovely. It's got sort of corduroy edging, lots of lovely detail. big pockets. There's pockets there, pockets here, pockets here. There are inside pockets, drawstring. There's actually a hood that rolls away in this collar, which has got a nice corduroy lining. So I'm really pleased with this. It's a sort of a fake Barbour, should we say, but very George, I think. But it's a waxed cotton jacket, and I also have like a waxed cotton flat cap, which I wear when I walk Maggie as well, so it goes really well. Perhaps wouldn't wear it quite with this skirt, but I might do actually. If I was just walking around the local roads, I would probably still put this on, leads in the pocket, all that sort of stuff, poo bags, the rest. It's got a nice sort of fit to it with the drawstring. I feel that it sort of fits in quite nicely. Again, the shoulders are not at all bad. Sleeves are a little bit big on it, a bit long, but I've turned them back because they have like a corduroy, they had what essentially is a corduroy lining on the cuff, and I've turned it back, and I think that it just looks like part of the jacket. Even then, even turned back, with the cuffs turned back, it's quite long on my arms, so, but it would certainly do the job. And I think you like it, don't you, Maggie? Yes, you do. You see? Now, how well does this jacket go with this dog? Do I look the part or what? You like it, don't you, sweetie? And finally, I got myself a kilt. Look at this. Oh, I haven't done the pin at the bottom. Now, I did get this in the end for $35. It's a made in Scotland full wool kilt. So absolutely, I mean, it's not too heavy. I was a bit concerned that it might be too heavy for Auckland weather, but it's not that heavy. It's very, very wearable, but 100% wool, Scottish wool. So really pleased. Now, the reason I got it at such a good price is that it is missing a strap here. It's supposed to have another buckle like this here. Well, luckily the buckle is here, but just the strap that buckles into it, the little strap that catches into this buckle, is missing. Now, there's one up here which is identical to this one, and so what my plan is actually to take off this strap and put it down here so that these two match, and then what I'm doing is I'm going to make a new strap here. If I undo this one, all that is just a shaped piece of leather with a few holes in and then stitched into the kilt. My daughter has even offered me that she has some leather scraps, but I'm really pleased with it. It's a lovely fit. Really, really like it. Just so pleased. I love the colour, I love the way it walks and the shape of it. There's a little room in through the waist, but that's okay, I think, because in the winter you might want to put in a heavier jumper or something, but I'm really pleased. I love the length of it, I like the colours, so pleased. I do actually have a leather jacket, which I have a sneaky suspicion might go quite nicely with the kilt, so let me just try it on and see if it works. This leather jacket is something that I found in a recycled boutique, a few years ago now, and it is my perfect leather jacket. I love the collar on it. It's just a really nice fit. Sleeves are a bit long, but I can never do anything about that. But I think it goes really nicely with this kilt. Adds a little bit of edge, and I think that looks really sharp. So I just thought I'd try it on because I've actually not put this leather jacket on with the kilt yet. So I thought I'd just try it to see what it looks like. I mean, obviously I'd probably have something different than a lightweight shirt on underneath, but yeah, really pleased with that. I think that looks really nice. Really pleased with those two things going together. So this is definitely going to be a pairing that I can see in my future. I probably just need a nice sort of fisherman's rib jumper or something to tuck into the kilt. I think that might be rather sharp. So that's my minimal styling, if you like. I know a lot of other YouTubers put on like whole outfits and try things with other things, but yeah, who's got time? And it's really warm. So I just thought I'd share with you my new purchases because I'm so thrilled about them. So, and I thought, oh, I'll do a haul video. So here we go. This is my thrift haul, is that what they call them? A thrift haul video. Anyway, I will see you next time. Bye.